welcome to our Neighbourhood Unitarian Universalist congregation. My name is Suzanne, I'm the music director, and I have your announcements. Conscious Movement classes continue Wednesday mornings from 10:15 to 11:30 on Zoom. Phyllis Danu offers these classes. You can contact her for more information. Our regular Wednesday night meditation continues on Zoom from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. with Reverend Wayne and Jillian. This is a meditation for beginners and intermediates. Tomorrow is the Spirit Choir Song Circle from 7 to 8:30 p.m. as we examine our monthly theme, The In-Between, through song. All are welcome to join us. The COVID-19 app. Please protect yourself and others by downloading the free phone app for iPhone or Android. It protects your privacy and health. This fall, UU Kids Connect is a free online intercongregational program for elementary and middle grade youth. That's uukidsconnect@gmail.com to sign up. Coming up is our online fundraiser on Saturday, November 21st at 7 p.m. Together While Apart. This is our biggest fundraising effort for our year. Save the date to find out just how much fun an online auction can be. A big thank you celebration today after service for Deb Burdazon for all the hard work she put into lifespan learning this past year. The celebration will happen immediately following service in place of the breakout rooms. Grab a snack and a beverage, wear a costume, and join us for some fellowship. Joining ritual is happening next Sunday during service. We'll be holding our joining ritual for people who want to become a member of our spiritual community and for current members that want to reconfirm their commitment. You can talk to Reverend Wayne for more information. Talent Night is coming up on Friday, November 6th from 7:30 to 9-ish p.m. All ages and talents are welcome to perform for an appreciative audience at our monthly open mic. It will be hosted by MC Allison, who is our service leader this morning. Sandwich Sisters. Can you help hungry local people by preparing sandwiches of any amount or type for local charities? There's a contactless drop-off near Broadview and Danforth. You can drop off your sandwiches on Wednesdays at any time and Thursdays by noon to be delivered. This is supported by our C Committee, and you can write to me if you want more info about Sandwich Sisters. Teak Speaker Series presents Dina Wake from the East End Neighborhood Urban Farm with the acronym ENOUGH. That's happening this Thursday from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. She will be speaking. Learn and get involved in an urban farm that's starting near Woodbine and Girard. And next Sunday, November 1st, we look at our theme, Who Do We Want to Become? Our minister, the Reverend Wayne Walder, will be giving the message of inspiration, and music will be provided by our own Spirit Choir.
Thank you, Suzanne. And welcome, everyone, to our Neighborhood Unitarian Universalist congregation service on Zoom. We welcome you here as we stay spiritually and emotionally connected in these times when we need to stay physically apart. My name is Allison Kabayama, and I will be your virtual service leader this morning from home. Our musical director, Suzanne Mazars, is in the East End United Sanctuary, which is next adjacent to our new home in Eastminster. Our minister, the Reverend Wayne Walder, is in his home or outside his home, as is our facilitator of the Child Caregiver Sunday program, Zach Getchell. We also have Peter Marmarick and Ruth Langtree, who are doing the Zoom web hosting duties. So thank you to all of you. Some etiquette to be aware of. Please remember to keep your microphone muted and not to send chat messages addressed to everyone. Though please do keep your chat open as lyrics and readings will be posted. We will offer you breakout rooms at the end of service, so we'll be able to talk and have a chance to chat then. This service is being recorded for the public, both on YouTube and on our new website. Joys and concerns and other personal moments will be edited out. But if you have privacy concerns, now would be a good time to turn off your camera and rename yourself. Sacred space and cyberspace make strange bedfellows, and we need your help to bring them together. Now, we have nowhere else to go and nothing else to do. Please shut off any apps that might distract and be present. This is our threshold moment. Let's enter sacred space together. Let our service begin now. As we light our chalice, I encourage you to light your own personal chalice or candle, or consider holding your hands in the shape of a chalice. Suzanne will light our chalice as we sing.
We light this chalice to remember, to light the fire within our own hearts.
And now for our prelude. Rebecca, would you like to introduce it?
Sure thing. I'm a little nervous, guys. Hello, my name is Rebecca, and for those who don't know me or who don't know this about me, I am a pagan witch. This is a very special time of year for me. It is Halloween for some. For me, it is Samhain, or the Witch's New Year. There's other very important holidays around this time. I don't know them all. When Suzanne asked me if I would provide a song, I was thrilled and excited and honored because this is me. And I had to provide this song that I wrote, and it's called The Wildlife, and it's just talking about how much magic I experience by being connected to the earth, and how it brings myself and soul and life joy, and just yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay. The moon is so high in the sky tonight. There's a twinkle winking in her eye tonight. Moonlight is calling, and I think I'm falling back in love with my life. The world is my goddess, and I am its pawn. I'll love every shadow, I'll chase every dawn. I'll grasp every moment I have in this life. For I am of nature, I am the wildlife. The sun is blasting through the gloom today. He's smiling and shining down on me today. Sunlight is calling, and my soul is falling back strong beneath my feet. My mother, who without I am incomplete. Mother Earth's calling. My soul is falling, falling back in love with my life. On the wings of my soul, I'll take to the sky. I'll be my true self, I'll shine out my light. With magic and love, my spirit will soar. And I'll fly, fly, fly like I've never flown before. All this because the world is my goddess and I am its pawn. I'll love every shadow, I'll chase every dawn. I'll grasp every moment I have in this life. For I am of nature, I am the wildlife. For I am of nature, I am the wildlife. For I am of nature, I am the wildlife. Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. Good morning and welcome. Today, almost all of us are in our own homes in isolation. Let us remember that these homes are on the traditional lands and territories of the Wendat, the Anishinaabe, the Mississauga, the Haudenosaunee, and the Ojibwe Chippewa nations. Indigenous people have been acknowledging the land at the start of gathering ceremonies and events for time immemorial. Our using and participating in a land acknowledgement is a way to recognize the enduring presence and resilience of Indigenous peoples, and also a reminder that we need to be accountable to these relationships. If you are visiting us for the first time, we extend a special welcome to you. Please stay around after service, and you'll have a chance to talk to members of this community about who we are and what we do, and how our services can be very different from week to week. Our mission at Neighbourhood is to empower spiritual growth and shared action for the care of the world. Our theme of the month is Living in Limbo. Our theme for today is Looking Past Limbo. When I considered the theme for today's service, I thought of how apt it is that we are considering the threshold or dividing line between what is, what was, and what will be, and how it can be a pronounced or more subtle divide, of how it can refer to a waiting or sustained feeling of being in limbo, or can be momentary and repetitious. There is a marked delineation point between how we are feeling now, possibly alone or in isolation, and when ultimately, finally, we will be able to gather together in person. And for now, though, we can only cope with changes and feelings in the moment and prepare and wait with various degrees of discomfort, of not knowing. An image came to my mind of a time when I went on vacation many years ago and joined a boating excursion. Kids and others, if you want, you can stand up, maybe get an idea of how this felt for me. We were traveling on a catamaran from St. Kitts, which is an island, to Nevis, which is another island. And while we were on the water, a lunch was provided. We boarded a catamaran, which is a type of a watercraft with 2 pontoons. And it was my first time of trying to walk around on the water and carrying my drink and something to eat. And the pitch of the sea was constantly changing. And as a result, I felt very unsure, unsteady, and quite tense. I found I couldn't anticipate the shifts, and it was unwise to overcommit to any movement. By contrast, the craft's crew were nimbly and quickly moving around, all around, carrying all manner of things with ease, laughing and carefree. The good news is by the end of the day, I was doing better and felt I was just beginning to acquire my sea legs. There we go. So similarly, now I find I cannot overcommit to plans, as almost anything can change and shift on a dime. We cannot hold on to one another's hands for stability, as we are all in the same boat. While we cannot gather, I know my thoughts are of you and my positive feelings and yearning for community. I trust that others are doing likewise, so I try to remind myself that you and we're still connected as we dance our halting sea dance through turbulent or psychologically challenging times. Together, may we manifest sea legs. As Unitarians, our scriptural readings come from many different sources. And for today, I've chosen something written by the Hungarian-American psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, who wrote that contrary to what we tend to assume, the normal state of the mind is chaos. Without training and without an object in the external world that demands attention, people are unable to focus their thoughts for more than a few minutes at a time. So it's relatively easy to concentrate when attention is structured by outside stimuli. But when we are left alone with no demands on attention, the basic disorder of the mind reveals itself. With nothing to do, it begins to follow random patterns, usually stopping to consider something painful or disturbing. Unless a person knows how to give order to his or her thoughts, attention will be attracted to whatever is most problematic at the moment. It will focus on some real or imaginary pain, on recent grudges, or long-term frustrations. Now, traditionally at this time in the service, we would all turn to one another and greet each other. In this virtual space, we have to do things a bit differently. So briefly unmute your device and offer a greeting. You have 1 minute and we will sound the chime to end. Now take a moment to greet the neighbors around you.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hi.
Hi, Susan.
Hi.
Sunday.
Hi.
Hey, hello,
Deb.
Good to
see you, Brad.
Hi,
Suzanne.
Oh, Wayne.
Hi,
Okay.
Brad.
Oh, salam alaikum.
Hi, Brad.
Hi.
Hello, Margot.
Morning.
Rose.
Hi.
Hello,
Margot.
Salam.
Lots of pagan witches this morning.
Yes.
Everybody looks great, Queen.
Big hug to everyone.
Ellie,
Hey, John.
Woo. Okay. So thanks everyone. It's just a taste of how we are connected and how we feel and think about each other. We're going to say our opening words now, which will appear in the chat. But if you're on the phone, just follow my words and memory will fill in the rest. Let us cast the circle of a sacred space here. Let us cast the circle of a cherished space here, a space of safety, a place of forgiveness, a place of love. If we want the world to change, we must craft in our space and in ourselves the seeds that grow a different kind of life. A life of graciousness, of creative intelligence, a place of life and spirit for ourselves and our families. Now, as we hold this place open to grace and insight, please join Kim Knutson for our opening song. Kim?
Yeah, hi everyone. So this song is the Cherokee Morning Song, and it was sung in 1997 by the hand drum group heading up Rita Coolidge, Walia. The song was to honor the Cherokee people along the Trail of Tears. When we're in grief, our prayers are at the highest level of prayers because it means we've loved well. The sun will rise, the sun will set, and our grief is still there. But we know that we still get up each day and we still face another day. So join me. We'll sing 4 rounds. Winde-ah-ho, winde-ah-ho, winde-ah, winde-ah, ho, 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 hi-oh-ho, hi-oh-ho, ya, ya, ya. Winde-ah-ho, winde-ah-ho, winde-ah, winde-ah, ho, 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 hi-oh-ho, hi-oh-ho, ya, ya, ya. Winde-ah-ho, winde-ah-ho, winde-ah, winde-ah, ho, 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 hi-oh-ho, hi-oh-ho, ya, ya, ya. Winde-ah-ho, winde-ah-ho, winde-ah, winde-ah, ho, 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 hi-oh-ho, hi-oh-ho, ya, ya, ya. Miigwech.
Miigwech.
I know that everyone really loves Halloween, but when I was a kid, I didn't like it very much. It would start okay. I'd be with a bunch of kids and we would go out to collect candy and have fun. We would laugh and go to houses being silly and excited, trick or treat. Sometimes though, when your bag of candy was almost full, there would be these older kids walking the streets, and if they saw your bag was full, they would just come and take it. They were bigger and there wasn't really anything to do. No one went out with their parents in those days. The embarrassment and the anger and the fear would make me afraid and deeply sad. And we all know the terrible feeling of outrage when you can't do anything about it. It felt just like that picture. Halloween scared me for another reason too. I was not afraid of the dark, but I was afraid of the dreams that came when I laid down to sleep. My dreams made me feel like I was between the worlds. I would lose the sense of my body and feel I was like I was floating in the air, nothing to hold me down. This was a scary feeling and I didn't like it. So Halloween, a holiday, just justified my fears of being between the worlds. It was scary and confusing and embarrassing. I never really got over my fearful dreams until I went with some friends to a place called Lilydale. You might know it. It's a community of mediums, spiritualists about an hour south of Buffalo, New York. Mediums had had a community there for more than 100 years. It's so well known that the New York Times recently put a piece together in 2018 featuring Lilydale. During the summer, it's a very busy place with people coming from all over the world to get readings about their lives and to inquire about the future. It means there's some pretty unusual and new agey people there. It was about 1975, and I was going out with one of the women who wrote the Moosewood Cookbook. We were kind of hippies together. We went with a bunch of friends. At that time, Lilydale was dilapidated. It was poor. It looked like a slum. The mediums and the spiritualists were treated badly and feared by the larger community around them. There had been many attempts made to get rid of them with zoning bylaws and graffiti. So they were very selective about the people that they saw. As we came to greet them, you could see them checking us out. All my friends picked mediums to have readings, inquiring about their future, but I didn't. I loved the nearby trees and was happy to be just waiting. I waited for them on a bridge, and an old man walked up to me and said hello. He seemed to be kind-hearted. After a few pleasantries, he looked at me and said, "You know this fear of the dark?" It immediately caught my attention. He said, "It's not fear, you know." I said, "Yes, I know." He said, "It's a gift to be able to let go of this body before you die." I paused for a long time. "Don't lose it," he said. "You'll have to tell a lot of people about it someday." "It's just like being on the bridge," he said, "between what you know and what you don't know. Makes us afraid. Don't be afraid." We looked at each other and he hugged me. He smiled and said, "This one is free." I bet the whole conversation took about 5 minutes. 10 years later, Swami Rama told me the same thing. You see, there are times when being between the worlds is scary, embarrassing, deeply troubling. Between health and illness, between loss and gain, between loving and being alone. Every liminality clearly shows that we are fragile. COVID isolation, COVID confusion, COVID fear provides us with far more than a liminal loss. It can provide us with the forgetting of what we knew, losing touch of who we love when we're forced to let go of what we expected. These are hard to take, hard to make sense of. Fear is fear. Everything is shut down, like that little girl on Facebook complained. Dreams in the dark, one side of the bridge, an open walk into the future that we don't know. Even if there is a vaccine, an antidote to COVID, our fear and this virus, we may still not know the future.
Thank you, Wayne. So we have a very special time in our service when we invite you to come forward and share a joy or concern in your life. So I think that maybe everyone, is there anyone that has a joy or concern to share? No? Okay. So we have three joys or concerns to share now. The first is I want to lift up in gratitude for all the volunteer efforts, seen and unseen, that help our community to hold together. And I want to acknowledge all the joys and concerns that remain unspoken in our hearts. One joy and concern that I'd like to lift up is for a person named Kyle Vose. Kyle is a person living with HIV and other serious health issues who has volunteered for years doing grassroots advocacy to improve the lives of people with AIDS, for immigrants, people living with disabilities, and other low-income people. He's currently working with the AIDS Foundation, and co-chairs the ODSP Action Coalition. So let's lift up Kyle in gratitude, and also know that Kyle is happy to have prayers said for him. Now is a time for meditation or prayer, and we'd like to go to Habibi and Chef P.
Good morning, everyone. This morning we're going to do a chant with words from ancient Canaanite and Hebrew. And it's all about accessing the darkness and what's called the I can of the universe. It's that energy that comes that helps us and supports us. And also connecting with the womb of the universe. So, so we sing the Balit Mati Melkatu. We'll do that for a while, and then we'll say, and Phyllis and I are going to trade off on this with Raham. And the Raham, when you say it, you want to feel it vibrating at the base of your spine. So, so this is a chant that connects you with the energy and of the universe that supports us all and helps us get what, yes, the Dark Mother, Phyllis is reminding me. And in the middle of this chant, we're going to stop for a few seconds and allow you to sit silently and think about the things you would like to birth in this world, or what you would like to access. So so we're going to start the chanting. Please join us, and and here we go. Balit Mati Malkatu. Balit Mati Malkatu. Balit Mati Malkatu. Belit Mati Malkatu. Belit Mati Malkatu. Rahum, 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 Belit mati malkatu. 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 Belit mati Belit mati malkatu. Belit mati malkatu. Belit mati malkatu. Ram, 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 Ram.
I think we all struggle with enforced isolation. And last week, many of you wrote how you use the forced liminality of this time to enjoy life differently. We can use the enforced time to tidy things up, to cook and do chores, projects we've never had time for. I'm going to use the bicycle path on Danforth to get to our new building, maybe even in the winter. There are silver linings. But I wonder, could I respectfully ask you and I to go a little further? Can I challenge you on two things? Will you sit quietly for 5 minutes every day? 5 minutes every day. Simply sit quietly and watch what happens to your mind. Maybe as you wake up. Maybe before you turn the car on or get on the streetcar. Maybe before a shower or at your cup of tea or coffee. It needs to be slightly formal, that you choose to start and you choose to stop. And it's very simple. Breathe and be open to the space you're in. Watch your thoughts. And in 5 minutes, continue your day. 5 minutes, 5 times a week out of the 10,000 minutes in a week. People often see dramatic results in only a month or two. Breathing becomes easier. You can hold a thought for longer and get more out of a thought. Entertainment becomes not so overwhelming and enticing. It feels better to be in your own skin, kind of like an old friend, and fear is far less. The patience you and I have lost through this COVID can be slowly recovered. Listening reveals itself as a skill, a kind and an affectionate skill. Let me help. I will send a new and different meditation each week. I will send it in the Monday chat. It may have some music, it might have guitar or my flute. You can download it on your phone or on your desktop, on your iPad. A 5-minute med. Call it the 5-minute med. I challenge you to put your body and soul in the hands of life for 5 minutes each day. I'll start it next week, November 1st. Then after 2 months of trying it, in January, I will invite you to share your insights with all of us. I'll make space for everyone who wants to share. If you find my meditations tiresome, there are thousands on the web. 5 minutes. I challenge you and me because we're between worlds and there is a moral reckoning going on. And it's going on in many, many ways. We all know that the environment, interpersonal relationships, economic inequality are out of balance and out of whack on the planet. If we want to change things, it's good to learn how to do it with ourselves first, before we begin demanding it from others. And I have a second challenge for our time between these worlds. We need you. We have to rebuild our community. Not only has COVID separated us physically, but that moral reckoning with race and gender and economics and other inequities requires that we show folks how to build a loving community by doing it ourselves. And what better time than this? We are between homes. Our things are packed. We're being prevented from seeing each other. Our programs have to be rebuilt. Relationships need to be restored. Fortunately, we have a little time. Fortunately, we have a little money. We have good people. We have good memories. We have good things to unpack when we're ready, and we'll be ready soon. We have partners who want us to succeed, and partners that we may not know about. Toronto First is going to be moving in 2 subway stops from us in September. If you haven't already, I'm asking you to step up and volunteer to help us rebuild our community over the next year. We have the foundation for something wonderful. Even though we'll all relearn how to do it, but we'll get it because I think we are very good people. And in 20 years, we have done it. We've done things that it's taken other communities 100 years to do. We bought that building and we fixed it up. It looked like that. We did things in that building that looked like that. We brought children into our space that looked like that, and sang and laughed, and it looked like that, and that. We have a bridge to cross, and it's simple, not easy. Help others do some good work. Help others do some good work. Learn a skill about how to work together. Bring your friends. In this liminal time, find something you can give to each other. It's what all life does, give and take. Maybe you can step up with money or skills. Maybe it's with friendship, with dreams or social media. Maybe you can step up with compassion or affection. Strong hands are always needed. It's simple, really. We have wonderful people on our board, wonderful staff. We can be the creators of a new model using what we already know from what we've already built. 5-minute meds to help us open. I'll be doing them with you, and then show up and help us rebuild a new model of a common good. And if you'll let me, I'll be doing that with you too. Let's cross this bridge between worlds together. And thank you for listening.
Thank you, Wayne. Thank you very much. Yes, I will be there. In these times of isolation, let's not forget that this congregation is a living entity. And like all living things, we must give it nurture and sustenance. When we cherish somebody or something, we take care to ensure its well-being. So please consider how you can show your care and support for Neighborhood. A link will be shown, which you can click on and make a donation, or you can take that link. You can write a check if you prefer, or make an e-transfer. Go to the website and use the PayPal function. Thank you. Now, all the young and young at heart, please get up and get close to the screen, because Zach is going to ask you to share your creations. Zach?
Good morning, everybody. So for those of you who were not there this morning, we started doing our Sunday morning children's child caregiver program in the morning before service today. And I wanted to mark that with something special. So what we've done is we talked a little bit about the origins of Halloween, the origins of Samhain, and why we dress up and why we wear masks. And that was because, you know, back in the day when people were people would put the masks on to disguise themselves from the spirits on the other side of the veil, to stop them from coming over into this side and to stop themselves from being recognized. And after we talked about that, the kids went off and had an activity to make their own masks. I made a couple of little ones here, a bunch of eyes and a little rainbow thing. I don't know if you can see that. But I've sent the kids off to make some masks, and they wanted to come back and show them to you. So I'm going to have any of my friends who was there and has made a mask to raise your hand on the side, and I will spotlight you and then ask you to unmute, and you can show us your mask and just tell us a little bit about why you think this mask would keep you safe. So I have Cameron's hand up. I'm going to spotlight you right now.
Hey, buddy.
So my mask is basically a. Why would it be scaling stuff? Well, because of like the elements and like those fiery eyebrows and like those the stickers and yeah, basically
He drew all the elements on his mask.
yeah.
They're hard to see because it's crayon, but he put
Yeah.
all the elements. Now, do you want to just quickly? Hi.
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 Hi, Doug.
Did you name the mask? Would you like to tell us the name before you go?
Oh, what's your mask's name? Does it have a name?
Yeah, remember?
Well, now you tell them.
Remember, but nobody else
The-
here knows.
Wait, what's that?
Earth, generally.
The Fire Water Superhero Mask, also known as the Element Superhero Mask.
Excellent. Thank you, Cameron, for sharing that with us.
Ow.
And thank you all for listening. I don't see any.
Zoe.
Oh, Zoe, are you going to come?
¿Quieres decirlo? She's a bit shy, but she wanted. ¿Quieres? That's the mask that she made, and she also made a mask for her sister. Oh, Kaya made that mask, yes.
Those are lovely masks. Would you like to tell us anything?
No,
Okay.
she didn't. So,
Very nice.
okay.
Guys,
Thank you both. And thank you all for listening.
Oh. Thank you. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, children. Oh, we have a raised hand from Mel. Do you want to unmute, Mel? Still muted.
I hit unmute, it didn't work. My kid was trying to find a mask that he made to show off too, but we can't find it now. Sorry.
and
This is Bay though.
yeah, and we found the back.
Down the back of the mask. We got it on the outline, but the other half looks the same, but with eyes.
Cool. Thank you.
It's modeled after a character called Laura from Five Nights at Freddy's, is it?
Yeah.
Which is like a video game. So that's
A horror video.
it is. It's a very scary video game, so perfect for this time of year.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we've come to the time to extinguish our chalice. I'll ask Suzanne to do that for us while we sing.
I would much prefer to hear the closing song before.
Oh, I'm
we
so sorry.
challenge.
I'm so sorry. I jumped over. Can we go to, yes, Suzanne?
Hi, I'm Luann. I'm here to sing you a song. But first, I need to tell you a little bit about it. It's called a solon, and it's a song that was sung during Halloween back in the old days, and they called it Samhain or Samhain in some parts of London, England, or Ireland, Scotland, any of those. Anyway, a soul cake is a small round cake which is traditionally made for Halloween and All Souls Day to commemorate the dead in the Christian tradition. Cakes are also referred to as souls and are given out to solars, mainly consisting of the poor and children, who would go door to door singing songs of Hallowtide and saying prayers for the souls of the givers and their friends. The practice in England dates back to the medieval period, but it's still going on in some of the countries. My grandparents came to Canada from London, England, in the late 1800s, and I'm sure when they were children in the poor East End of London that they would have done this, which is kind of interesting. Anyway, I am going to teach you the song. I'm going to teach the chorus slowly and twice. So here goes. A soul, a soul, a soulin', please good missus, a soul cake, an apple, a pear, a plum, or a cherry, any good thing to make us merry. 1 for Peter, 2 for Paul, 3 for him that made us all. Okay? A soul cake, please good missus, a soul cake, an apple, a pear, a plum, or a cherry, any good thing to make us merry. 1 for Peter, 2 for Paul, 3 for him that made us all. Okay, so here we go. A soul, a soul, a soul cake, please good missus, a soul cake, an apple, a pear, a plum, or a cherry, any good thing to make us merry. 1 for Peter, 2 for Paul, 3 for him that made us all. God bless the master of this house, the mistress also, and all the little children that round your table grow. Like wise young men and maidens, your cattle and your store, and all that dwells within your gates, we wish you 10 times more. A soul, a soul, a soul cake, please good missus, a soul cake, an apple, a pear, a plum, or a cherry, any good thing that makes us merry. 1 for Peter, 2 for Paul, 3 for him that save us all. Go down into the cellar and see what you can find. If the barrel's all not empty, we hope you will prove kind. We hope you will prove kind with your apples and strong beer, and we'll come next more sailing, soulin' till this time next year. A soul, a soul, a soul cake, please good missus, a soul cake, an apple, a pear, a plum, or a cherry, any good thing to make us merry. 1 for Peter, 2 for Paul, 3 for him that saved us all. The lanes are very dirty, my shoes are very thin. I've got a little pocket to put a penny in. If you haven't got a penny, a halfpenny will do. If you haven't got a halfpenny, then God bless you. A soul, a soul, a soul cake, please good missus, a soul cake, an apple, a plum, a pear, or a cherry, any good thing to make us merry. 1 for Peter, 2 for Paul, 3 for him that made us all. Thank you.
Thank you, Luann. And now, I ask Suzanne to extinguish our chalice as we sing. Our chalice extinguishing song.
Chalice has been darkened. We hold the fire within our own hearts.
We have a tradition of circling round and holding one another's hands. But as we know, we can't do that right now. Instead, we will use a venerable Eastern greeting called in India, the Namaste, which means I salute the spirit within you. Congregation of Neighborhood, let us say Namaste. And today I will leave you with words from Nizami Ganjavi, the 12th century Persian Sunni Muslim poet, who tells us, in the hour of adversity, be not without hope, for crystal rain falls from black clouds. Our service has ended. There will be no breakout rooms today, so instead please stay for our thank you celebration for Deb Burdizon in recognition of all of her contributions to our Lifespan Learning program. For those who do not wish to stay, thank you for joining us. Please close your Zoom meeting or hang up your phone to exit. And to everyone, go in peace. Namaste.